I'm going to have a question here, and then there's one there, one there. So,
Thank you. Hi, my name is Idan Dadon. I'm the CEO of Multidyne. Just a couple of words of what we do before I ask the question so you get a better view. We offer customers to come into a restaurant and interact through touch. You see it a lot through side menus, iPads, or iPhones. We took it from a different perspective because we believe that when you come into a restaurant, you want to maintain interaction with people and rather with devices, because that's where you come to a restaurant to communicate. So we've developed this table surface. When you come to a restaurant, you can actually use it. You have 4 different menus, multilingual. You can slide dishes, do everything. You can see it at multidyne.com. So anyhow, we learn the customer's taste, and then we can offer him an opportunity to discover new dishes and restaurants that fit his taste. So we did it here in Israel and operated here as a beta in Beersheba. And then I just returned from TechCrunch. We got some great feedback, and now we're thinking about doing a beta in the US and penetrating the different market, where over there it's mostly restaurant chains, which are our customers. So there's a difference between here and there, that over there, I'm still researching about that, but going through a channel, let's say TGI Fridays has 600 restaurants in that chain. And over here, it's mostly like I go to the restaurant owner, do you want to buy this technology? So I was wondering, based on your experience, how do we go about that? Because there's bigger chains with a lot of, smaller franchisees, restaurants.
So it's a physical installation. We need to have a physical installation.
It's we just now partnered with Dell, so they're going to handle the manufacturing, and we need to find somebody that will do this servicing, and installation, but it's plug and play. There isn't any integration, like real integration into the restaurant. I just send the product, they plug it in, and it downloads all the menu from the cloud. So what I need is actually the channel, how to get to these chains. Do I go there like one by one, or do you know of any like channels that do that? I know that if I partner with a point of sale company like Micros, then they already have their customers, and maybe through them, through their sales department, maybe we can do like sell more products, like you said, to the same customers. So you don't put efforts on.
Contact Chef Ramsey.
Yeah, they actually, he already, Post Lavut took him, so he's pretty busy, I guess.
Do you know, I know the chef?
Yeah, I know. I met him at Disrupt, the latest Disrupt.
No, it's a new app.
Yeah, I know that I met the guys at TechCrunch Disrupt. They were right next to us.
okay. In North America, normally what happens is that in the larger restaurants, they everything, you cannot bring anything into there unless it goes through their tech division. So they have tech people on board. They will be the first one. I know you say to go to procurement first, but it's going to be backwards and forward, because if you go to procurement, the only thing they're going to do is say, you have to go speak to my tech people first, and I want to hear what they're going to say. It's the tech people that are going to be doing it. You won't be dealing with C-level people. You'll be dealing with tech people, and they're going to want to see why it's beneficial to them. The one thing that you said in there that's probably, and this is not because of my tech, working in the tech industry, but just in general, if you're telling them about other restaurants that you're going to promote when they're in their restaurant, they're going to tell you to get lost.
To the something exposing the business to the end customers, usually the tech people are not taking the decisions. They are doing what the marketing people or what the design people will tell them to do. They will be the second to test. But first of all, someone in the restaurant or in the chain has to say, yes, we want it because this exposes us to the end customer. This is the image of our business. So not tech people are not deciding about the image of the business.
No, I agree with you on that. But the first thing that's going to have to happen is that they're going to want the tech department to say, can we do this or can we not do this? And that's where I think it's going to start. If it's a new restaurant, a new look and feel for the restaurant that you're trying to go after, where they're going to redo everything, then I would agree with you. It would go to the designer first. But if you're just trying to sell that into the companies that are already got everything else in place and are running, and so to try to get them to swap these in instead of
services which you are providing are deep enough to tell, okay, this we go on the West Coast on that partner, on the Midland we go to that partner, on the other side we go to there, or you just able to go to the big guys? That is one question. The other very short question as well, regarding your comment about don't tell the guy that you're going to offer same solution to the competitive. Referring to this, I know that success stories are working well to customers. Like if you will take the Chef Ramsay restaurant and you tell them, okay, he's my customer. Not that I'm telling you that he's not as Chef Ramsay, but still the success story has an influence. Maybe this is also advertising what you're saying, that we are not humid as customers, as people, and maybe we're too show off. So this interests me. How do you see this as an American? Because I'm from here, I'm a native guy. Thank you.
so. On the first one, well, I'll start with the second one. So when you go in there and into customers, absolutely, and things that if I ever get to my PowerPoint, will tell you about is that having people who will recommend you, who you've done work for, and case studies are even better. They're fabulous. It's a great way to sell, and not just in the IT industry, in any industry in the world. You know, because especially if it's a name that's well known and respected. On the first one, what was the first one about? Oh, sorry, yeah. So if you look at so if you look at Canada and the United States, everybody always says, okay, there's Canada and there's the U.S. But in East, Middle, and West. But if you really look at it as far as how they align up, you could go straight down on the mountain ranges. Like we have two mountain ranges, so you have one in the Montreal and down the east coast of the U.S. Then you have the central, and then you have the mountains that come down on the west coast. The attitudes or the way that they look at the marketplace are almost identical if you use it that way going down in all three. Where you have on the East Coast is definitely the most aggressive. It's where all the major companies go for to, you know, where they have their head offices and so on. If you look in the middle, it's much more sedate. The only place that doesn't fit into that is Toronto is more like the East Coast, but everything else does. And then on the West Coast, you have a very laissez-faire, like a very easygoing. Not like work isn't quite as much as important. You get Friday afternoons off normally, like all the way through. It's a much easier marketplace from the way that people think.
I think it's fair to say that every country around the world has a problem in getting into the US market. I can tell you as a fact that the British have a habit of failing in the US in a spectacular way. Recently, the largest supermarket in the UK called Tesco's, okay, has just basically put its tail between its legs and run back. Marks and Spencer's did it, and almost every British company has a habit of failing when they get to the US. So to stand up for the Israelis, you're doing much better than anybody else. There's more Israeli companies on the NASDAQ than any other foreign company. So I think that everybody has trouble. I'm not saying you don't, but you're in good company.
You can sell by building a call center with a good salesperson over the phone. But again, it depends what are the pricing limits, what is the culture at the target market, if he's expecting it to get a call and buy it through the phone, etc. But Panaya, Compile, LivePerson, many companies have this kind of operation, and they sell it without having the traditional channels.
You don't know Mirosh what to do. At the end of the day,
Today we have enough case studies on
It works.
Are you speaking next?
If you build a SaaS company within the same business model,
I lost it.
Panaya, Compile, and
That's
others
okay.
that we already know it's working, Clarizen, Procter is another example. So you really can learn from them, and that's what we do, by the way, with our meetups. We learn from them how to build the right business models, how to build the operation of this call center, how to recruit the right people to do the sales process via the call center, etc. And therefore, it's working.
as an alternative to the channel.
As an alternative, a successful alternative, because it's cheaper than the channels, and you have direct sales, so you can have more revenues. Some companies have low pricing, and they're based on long tail models that they sell to many with the low pricing. That depends on the product and the competition, etc. But in the SaaS economy, it's a proven model.
I don't think it's a question of language or mentality, but more how an Israeli think about a product. And you mentioned it in the first statement, especially when you are dealing with a channel, an American channel. For him, a product is a complete product, fully working 100%, and not 90% or 80%. And that's what I see where Israeli companies, startups are failing, because we are thinking that a product that 80% working, we can go to a channel, and that's the big mistake, and that's why a product manager is a very important role in an Israeli company. Now, my question is, again, you said about selecting the partner. You started with giving them 12 months with regarding to exclusivity. Then you corrected it with 90 days. Again, would it be better to take two partners, to start with two or more? Because the time that you will lose if this partner is not providing the work could be dramatic. You can lose 6 months, 9 months. So where is the spot there?
Tough decision about the product, the company will go under. If you make a bad decision about hiring CFO, you will lose money. That's tough life. If you will not be willing to give some sort of exclusivity in the short term, no one will work with you. You're a waste of their time. Simple as that. The 12-month period, that's the minimum. You have to do that after a learning or evaluation period. What is the typical time? 90 days. This is what is common in the industry. You give yourself the 90 days, you learn with the other partner, the market, constraints, issues, pricing, competitive advantages, so forth and so on. And then you make a decision. Do we move to the next step or not? You made a mistake, you learn, or not.
There is some intermediate solution by making some milestones. I mean, okay, you give 12 months exclusivity, but you make milestone. Okay, after 6 months, I want to see this and this and this. After 9 months, I want to see
Absolutely.